Hello, everybody. It's been a while. We tried to do some streams recently, but they weren't working. I was traveling, and Brian's been busy. And finally, we're back. The regular setup. So, welcome back, everybody. Welcome, Brian.
Thanks, brother. Good to see you, Joe. Good to see you in TikTok Hunter as well. He's been playing some cranked, he says. Very nice.
Nice. We dropped a pretty big update yesterday. We also dropped a pretty big update 8 days before that. So, we've got quite a bit of things since the last stream to go over. Lots of new trails. We're going to session some new trails. I'm just going to go hop on a new one now. Do Rock Merchant. I think some of you guys will like the way this one's playing, but we'll do this and we'll just hang out and talk and have some fun. Nothing really on the agenda today other than just kind of getting back in the swing of things. So if you guys got questions or want me to do anything specific, got a lot of drone updates. We got the FPV drone in here now. I'll probably do some drone flying and chasing people later. We're preparing for the new multiplayer race mode, which will hopefully be out next week. So if you could see, a lot of the entire racing structure and code has been redone so that it can work with multiplayer stuff. So that's why some of the UI looks different now. UI is still placeholder. We got a new mini map in the bottom right. So many new things. It's actually kind of overwhelming how many awesome new things we have.
I remember there was a time, Joe, when you told me that you guys were shooting for 40 trails on the final thing. And I remember thinking, man, really? Is that really what the case is going to be? Now I wonder if it'll be triple that.
Yeah, I mean, I think at least 60. We're already at over 30 on this map, and we wanted 40 to launch, and yeah, we'll definitely be breaking the 40 barrier.
You also
soon.
seem to be picking up speed on how quickly you bust them out too. So if you
Oh yeah, dude, Cedric's been just. I mean, I think the update yesterday added 6 new raceable tracks. I mean, that's probably the most raceable tracks in a single update that we've ever had. Ooh, that jumps hard in that case, and I'm not going to clear this. Why am I not getting? Am I not getting chat over here? Someone say something in TikTok chat. I want to see if it's working for me.
see chicken's hanging. Max J Boss is with
Yo,
us. Yeah,
all right, yeah, no, we
Davenport.
got it, we got it. Cool.
We got
Thanks,
the crew
guys.
here. What's up, guys? Funky Chicken's here. Paradox is here. That's a big game studio. I know a lot of people who worked at the Paradox game studio.
We're gonna try to get some times. Yesterday, I did get a world record time yesterday. Let's go check, see how badly I've been beaten already. But Scoops is probably one of my new favorites. Wait a second. Student said he beat me. Why does it still say I'm in first? Suitin, if you're watching, tell me what's up here. What's up, Makai, in the chat?
Yeah, Makai's around. Austin Sauce is around. What's up, guys?
Interesting. So apparently I'm still number 1 here, unless there's a bug. But I'll take it. I don't get top spots often, but I'll take it. This game looks so good. Thanks, Funky Chicken. I like your name too, Funky Chicken. That's fun.
Yeah.
Hodge would probably like your
Chicken,
name.
If you haven't played it yet, you gotta see how it plays, man.
Our programmer Hodge used to work at a chicken place, and now he hates chicken. So he probably thinks all chicken's funky in a bad way.
There's a town in West Virginia where I have been many times called Moorfield, and there are a lot of chicken plants, like Tyson chicken plants or something.
Oh yeah.
And the whole town smells like it. So I kind of know where Hodge is coming from. My guess is those people are a little bit over chicken too. Portugal's in the house. Mass appeal. What's up, Portugal? Love that country. Been
So this
a few times.
Oh man, I don't know, I'm hopping on there. I don't think I need to. This is one of the new race trails called Rock Merchant. It replaced Lefty, if you guys have been playing. So Lefty used to be in this position. We replaced it. Lefty was taking up a little bit too much space, so we got rid of Lefty and added like 3 or 4 trails in the same spot. So we'll roll some of those other trails here in a minute. I want to try to get a better time on this.
Nice. Cranked Intern is in the chat. That
What
is
up,
Julian, our marketing coordinator. He's officially our marketing coordinator now. So if y'all want to welcome Julian, we really probably need to get rid of that handle, Julian. Cranked Intern, you're not an intern anymore. You're on staff now. Congrats for that. He's also my son, and he brings up the point that there are literally more chickens than people in Moorfield, West Virginia, he said.
That's crazy.
A lot of chickens. Well, although not that many people there, honestly.
All right, here we go. We're on a... Oh, I always forget the angle of that jump. All right, we'll get one. We'll get one.
Ethan asks why we don't update this team playtest, so I'll let you talk about that when you're ready, Joe. I know you have an answer for it.
Yeah, so actually, I'm very... I'll be brutally honest, actually, with you guys, is that the Steam playtest is pretty bad right now. It doesn't represent the game well. It doesn't feel and play like this map does. Those trails were developed so early on in development. The physics were way different back then. So they don't really play well. Like we had a playtest on there recently, like an internal playtest on the playtest map, and it was a pretty bad experience. None of us were having fun. So we're actually going to pull it down soon. But before we pull it down, what we're going to do is we're going to open up, you know, if you guys are new, there's a Patreon version. If you join Patreon, you get access to all the different maps, all this whole open world thing. Let me show you. We got a new drone, but I can hop up in the sky. You can see just how massive. I mean, this place it's huge. So what we're going to do is that playtest is going to change, and what we're going to have is allow you guys to get in here for a limited time. It'll be a limited time playtest, maybe like a week or less, 5 days a week, something like that. And that's going to happen soon. And then after that, we're going to pull the playtest down. And I don't know how long the playtest will be down for, but eventually it'll get replaced with the demo. So that's the plan.
Bryce, son, welcome back, man.
Can I gap all the way down? No. Game is called Cranked Tejas. Ooh, got a little bounce there. Still got a lot of bugs. If you guys are new here, this game is still, you know, we're probably about in alpha phase, pre-alpha, somewhere around there. So it's still very early. A lot of art and stuff is placeholder. It's moving slowly. We just hired a new artist named Damien, so he's on the team now. He's helping us with the new root tool. I'm going to go show you the new roots here in a second, actually. So we've got this really nice new root tool. Let's go do that now, because I think
are you going to show us the tool as well, Joe?
No, I don't have Unity open, but I do want to show you guys the tool at some point. But we do have a new arcade drone. I redid the way the drone feels, but let me go show you some old roots, and then I want to show you guys the new roots. And I know you probably think, some of you might be like, who cares, it's roots. Man, riding over roots and mountain biking is such a big part of it, and getting that dialed in. No other game really does root riding proper. So these are the old ones. They were huge and chunky. Like, let me put a bike here, and then hop back in the drone. You could see they're pretty big, and a lot of times you would hit them and you would just immediately die. So these are the way the old roots were looking. Now let's go show you section that Cedric just made that should have new roots. I think it's in this version.
Yeah, while he's flying, I'm just going to kind of mention that we do have a Steam page up, and if you are not currently wishlisting there, it would be awesome if you would head over and check out Cranked on Steam and hit the wishlist button. It's very helpful for us.
I thought one of his new trails had the new... That's old. Could be wrong, and maybe it hasn't been put in here yet, but let me keep looking. I'm pretty sure...
So this is just arcade mode that you're flying right now, right, Joe?
Yeah, this drone, but the arcade drone has been fully redone. I'm getting lost. This map's too big. Where am I? That's why. I was looking totally wrong place.
Bryson likes the idea of people being able to create their own maps, which is, of course, a big part of
Coming
what
soon.
modding is all about and what we're going to be really emphasizing. So for sure with you on that, Bryce. He says where players can submit their work and maybe get featured in game. And I know we've talked a lot about the discovery of tracks when we have modding and so forth, Joe. So that's another thing you can talk about at some point today if you want, what your vision is for that, since we're starting to get closer to it, I think.
Definitely. Hodge should... I think these are the new ones. This is a bad example. He's put some stuff in other spots. Anyway, sorry, I was trying to show you guys this new root tool thing, but I don't know if this update has many of his roots. But yeah, modding's going to start soon. Hodge thinks he'll be starting on it probably in a week or two. And we don't think it'll take super long to get going. Here's an example of new and old next to each other. So old root, some new roots. But yeah, modding's coming soon. We'll let you get. You guys will be able to get in here, and you'll even get access to the root tool, so you'll be able to use it yourself. And then you guys will be able to make mods. And what we will probably end up doing is like, if someone makes really exceptional mod map, reach out to them and maybe make it an official map in the game and pay them for their work and things like that. So that stuff will come later, but that's in the plan. We really believe modding is super important in these kind of games, and it's always been something we've wanted to add and huge part of the plan. So the sooner we can get it in, the better. The more time you guys have to start making stuff before the game launches, I think the better.
Thanks for the idea, Bryce. Appreciate that, man. Can you throw whips? Noah wants to know, Joe. You certainly can throw whips, and it's all physics-based, so you can throw them with style.
Yeah, no canned animations. All the other games, like someone in chat saying Mavericks is better. It's different style. If you guys like animation-based games, more like Riders Republic, then sure, go check out Mavericks. But if you like free physics-based games, more like MX Bikes, where you're in full control and there's no canned animations, then Cranked is probably what you want. All the scrubs, whips, flips, spins, everything. It's not animated. It's just physics-based.
Captain Jack's in the house. Good to see you, man. Maximilian is asking if the bike feel and physics are finished. Joe, will there ever be such a thing as truly finished?
Probably not. No, it's definitely not.
How would you answer the question?
There's still plenty of things I'm unhappy with. Overall, I love the way the game feels, and it's in a great spot. And to me, it's the most fun mountain bike game there is. But there's plenty of things we want to fix. In-air physics, whip scrub physics, I want to redo. A lot of the suspension stuff I think can be improved. The wheels, we're going to kind of redo the way the wheels and the way the collisions work, because sometimes your wheels can clip. So that's kind of going to be a big undertaking for us. But Hodge has already started on a whole new system, like a custom wheel collider thing. So yeah, slowly over time, we will improve the physics. Even after launch, we're going to keep improving the physics and taking feedback and making it better and better. You can't make something perfect right off the bat. Today's I don't even think we've hit a year yet. What did I say today was? Day 3, 6, 3, I guess we're a little over a year. Today's day 363.
Right on.
Where did I go? I'm in 4th.
Nice.
I could probably beat Ankras.
Elmu's hanging with us, said he was with us in the first live stream.
Oh, nice, dude.
That's full circle, Elmu. Nice to see you, man. Says it looks so good now. Appreciate that, brother.
It's getting there.
Yeah, man. XM wants to know if it's going to be on console. Yeah, that's the plan. We're a small team, and we're starting with PC and getting it across the finish line. But yeah, we think this game would be great on console, and that's the plan. No specific plans yet, but that's what we want to do with it and anticipate doing with it.
Is early access available? Sorry, I lost your username. Yeah, technically early access is available. We have a Patreon up, and if you go join our Patreon, you get early access to everything we're doing. Everything you see right now is the build we released to our Patreon members yesterday, actually. So you can head over to our Patreon page. Just go to patreon.com and search for Cranked, and for $5 you can join and get access to everything. Let's go. Go ahead.
I was just going to say it's early in the stream, and I feel like already we've gotten a number of really good questions. Like in the past, we were kind of like, let's be careful not to spend too much time responding to comments, because then that becomes what the whole thing is about, and it's a little boring for the people who hang with us every week. But so far, a bunch of good questions. Like Caleb Porter asks, are you guys thinking about playing with adding different wheel sizes, maybe even a 32 like on the Frameworks was running at Sea Otter, that type of thing? Do you think you'll get that specific about things like wheel size, etc., Joe? What's your take?
Maybe in the future. But I think, for 1.0, it's going to be hard to do like all kinds of different wheel sizes and components and things like that. But I think it would be fun, depending on how successful the game is, how many people are playing it, how much money we have in the future. I would love to do stuff like that, and like different tire types that have different grip levels and things like that could be fun too. The key with it, like if we do any sort of tuning or kind of modding of different physics attributes or whatever, the one stipulation I have for a system like that is that when you look at the leaderboard, you can dive into anyone's name on the leaderboard, and it'll tell you all of their their setup, so I just don't like in games when I don't know someone's setup. Like Hodge was telling me, back in the day in MX Sim, it used to be that you just had to have these like amazing paid setups, and people were spending like $70 to get a setup, and if you didn't have like a $70 setup from someone, you just couldn't compete. And I don't want to ever get to a place like that. I want everyone to be able to see what your setup is and be able to copy it if they want to. One button click should be like, boom, give me this setup, and I want to try it. So that would kind of be the idea in the future. I saw a comment on Nico Malali's bike with the 32, because he's running a custom frameworks enduro bike with a 32-inch front and a 29-inch back, so it's kind of like a mullet but a little bit bigger. And someone in the comments was like, he's like, we don't need him to just ride some bike that a sponsor wants him to ride and try to prove to us that this is the new thing, blah blah blah. And I'm like, what sponsor, dude? He made, like, it's his company.
The exact opposite of that scenario, actually.
If he didn't want to ride something, he wouldn't ride it.
Yeah, if he was working, if he was riding for somebody else, he wouldn't have as much freedom to try stuff like that. Potentially. I
don't know why everyone gets so against stuff. Like the 32-inch wheel thing is such a controversy right now. Like there's so many people that are so against it, and it's like, if you don't like it, don't ride it. Who cares? Like I don't get it. Like if someone on the trail is on a 32-inch tire size or wheel size and you're not, how does it affect your riding?
With e-bikes.
Yeah.
Really? Hey guys, sound check. How's everything sounding today? Is our audio similar? Everything okay? Let us know, please.
Ooh,
haven't heard
drop.
any complaints, so probably okay. I'm guessing.
This trail's called Junior. New trail from Ancrast. If you guys know, Ancrast
I love this trail.
Was a big Descenders modder, and he's our level designer. He's made most of the trails in this map, pretty much all except one maybe two. I don't know. But it's kind of got like a Junior World Cup vibe, which is why we called it Junior. And it's pretty fun. We'll see if we can get a better time here.
What up, Jay says, would you partner with IRL bike brands, and are there bikes in the game? Almost like a sponsor. That's a Frameworks bike that he's on right now. That's the first bike we put in the game, and we have 2 other brands. One definitely lined up, another one essentially lined up at this point, right, Joe? So we kind of have 3.
Yep.
Either in or in the works at this point. But yeah, man, that's the plan. We love that type of alignment. We've all been in action sports for a really long time, and branding in action sports is just different than it is in most places. When we made Mad Skills Motocross back in the day, we were the guys who made that game on the OG team. We got brands as well, and we also put in fake brands. And nobody wanted the fake brands, of course. They all wanted to ride Fox Racing and other, Troy Lee Designs and Fly Racing and all those brands. So it's just cooler. People like to rock the stuff that they wear in real life, and we're going to work with as many people as want to work with us, basically.
Callium Morrison says he played it, and it's awesome. Thanks, Callum.
Bird.
Oh, man, I'm missing these gates. I saw everyone was kind of ripping on Big Dipper, so I thought I'd come join the party. Missed that gate. I got to lock it in. I was doing good last night. Last night, Hodge and I were on here till probably like midnight or so, just playing, having some beer, celebrating the big update. A couple big updates in a row. He's almost finished with the new multiplayer mode that should be launching hopefully next week is our plan. It's actually technically in here right now, but it's just turned off. But soon we're going to have a multiplayer mode where you guys can hop in and there will be 15-minute sessions on a trail. You can vote for the trail at the end of the session for the next session, and there'll be a session leaderboard. So within 15 minutes who can get the best time on a set trail. It changes the game kind of, because right now we're all going for world record time, so we're trying to get the perfect run. And if we don't get the perfect run, we just restart. Oh, I missed it. But with 15 minutes, you can't get the perfect run. It's not enough time. So it's going to be a different kind of aspect of racing, which I'm excited to try out. We've done some internal play tests with it so far, and we've been having a lot of fun with it.
We did some things like that in Mad Skills too, which makes sense because that whole restart dynamic is essentially identical to what it is in Mad Skills Motocross. So there were times when we would put a clock on it and you had to, like, I remember thinking, okay, first I want to get a time down. So you start by just getting a decent time down so you get onto the board, and then you start working it a
Yep.
little bit. If you nail a second time that's really good, then you might start pushing even harder to see if you can get like the absolute best time. If you're having a hard time getting an improvement on your first time, you'll work on that a little bit more. It's kind of fun building a strategy around that, I think.
Uh-oh. Oh, we're good. We're good. Oh, that was deep.
I'm stoked that you're doing that in this game, Joe. That's great.
Yeah, I think it'll be fun. It gives something to do when you're in the multiplayer server. See if I can hit this scrub. Oh, I missed it. Run is ruined.
Oh, well. Maximilian says his biggest question is he like tighter vegetation. Joe, you mentioned something about this recently.
Oh,
Let
for
me read
sure.
this. Tighter vegetation in the planning so that trails feel narrower and more like
Yep.
you're riding through the forest. I mean, Joe,
Let me-
you said this very thing in the last couple of weeks to me.
Let me explain kind of the way we work.
Good
Right
comment,
now,
by the way.
very good. Right now, Antgrass is going through carving out all these trails. It's really hard to make trails if all the vegetation, the trees, the grass, the brush, the shrubs, all that stuff is already in there. Then you basically have to delete all that stuff, then carve the trail, then put all that back, and it doesn't really work. So what's happening is our artists have not come in here to decorate yet. Like all these trees were just kind of like randomly placed. But as Cedric finishes a zone, so we'll fly over here. This is zone 1 called Lakeside. It's almost done. I'm adding a trail to it, 2 trails to it, and then it'll be done. Then what'll happen is Maggie and Damien, our artists, will come in here and start decorating. They'll be adding the brush. They'll be adding more tree types, flowers and butterflies and animals and all kinds of different things. And then it's going to fill it out. But we have to wait till Antgrass kind of goes through and carves out all the trails. And once he says like he's done, this section's done, then artists can come in and make it look good. So right now it's very bare, very minimum. But it'll fill out for sure.
See, Birdshell's in the chat. He says, hey, look, the old guy's back.
Hey.
What's up, Birdshell? Good to see you, brother. I might be old, Birdshell, but I know music at all levels. I can talk music with even the kids these days.
Dude, it's going to be hard for me to beat my time because I had a ridiculous... Let me show you guys the ridiculousness of this from yesterday. Which one was it? Probably this one. Oh, I don't know if you'd be able to see, actually. No, you guys are seeing this. It's probably this run. Hopefully you guys can see what I'm seeing. This is my replay from yesterday. This is my personal best. But I just had a ridiculous gap. And I don't know if I'll be able to hit it again. So it's going to be hard for me to improve my time. Will there be Easter eggs around the map? Absolutely. That's going to be a huge part of it. This gap right here, look at this. All the way down, perfectly, barely missed that rock. I mean, that saved me so much time right there. Yeah, we're going to, we're going to go nuts with Easter eggs. And if you have ideas for Easter eggs, I think we have a whole section in our Discord for people to post their Easter egg ideas. We've had a ton of good feedback from people on that. So a lot of that stuff will come later in development. But yes, I have some ridiculous Easter egg ideas too that I think will be very fun. And I had a bad section there. I think I can improve in the end. So we got room that we can improve on. Let's close this. Get back to the game. I don't know if you guys know, if you've ever seen, I forget his name on Instagram, but there's a guy who's always like riding these like secret private trails in California, and this trail is kind of inspired by that because of the way those like hills are kind of like, you kind of ride between these like rolling hills. Oh, that was almost it. Let's just see what my time would have been.
So how was your trip to Chicago, man?
Yeah, it was good. Just chill. Didn't do much. Just hung out with friends and family and
Get
worked.
together with Hodge, though, right?
Yeah, I did get together with Hodge. We had rented an office one time and worked together. And then we went to the motocross track and he rode and I took pictures of him. It's fun.
Nice.
Yeah, this wouldn't have been faster anyway. No biggie.
I like that you still can see the your
Ooh, it
time,
would have been. Barely.
even when you invalidate your time. I always thought it was cool that you made it to where you could still see what you would have.
Yeah, me too. Instead of just automatically failing you and giving you a black screen like maybe some other mountain bike games do. Friday says, "Hey, have you heard of Sam Tabor? I'm sure he'd love to play this. We have, and awesome dude. He's also got great music. You guys should check out his music. But he has played. He's done a few videos on it actually. He digs it.
Tell him no. The more he does, the better. The more stoked we are. By the way, guys, if you're like hanging with us on TikTok and you're not following us, please consider it. And if you're on YouTube, also please consider following us there. Easy stuff to do that helps us.
Dude,
Never active
I
on
wonder
these
if
platforms.
that would have been nuts if I would have landed that. Like, I legit listen to Sam Tabor's music because I like it. Not
Nice.
like I think it's good.
He seems like a cool guy.
He does. I think he broke his elbow or arm or something skateboarding recently. Had a cool video recently where he was like hanging out in the some Nike skate park with it's like Sean Malto or whatever his name is, some pro skaters doing some video content. It's pretty cool. Come on, get there. Oh, see, the key is right there. You've got to hit that little green edge, that grassy side, and then you can land that. It's hard though. Would you be able to adjust let's talk about it, the first person cam to make it higher or lower or change FOV? That is an amazing question. Let me
Also
show you.
answers another guy's question who asked if it was first or if it was only first person. No, there's also a third person.
Yeah, there is third person. It's a work in progress. But let me show you. We did add some new settings in this update we just dropped yesterday. But yes, the first person camera is highly, highly customizable. You can make it look crazy different from what I have. First of all, you have FOV. So you can do, you can do an FOV from like something absolutely dumb that we need to remove, or crazy high like 140. I like mine around 115-ish. Then there's also FOV for third person camera. So if we back out of this, go to third person, I think the FOV for third person camera should be a lot tighter. Like 75 to me looks really good. A lot of people bring it way back, and I think that looks weird, but you can also adjust it there. And then let's go back to, you asked about first person. So let me show you all the different settings. Seat vertical, right? You can raise it up, lower it down. I like mine pretty high. Sometimes I have it cranked up all the way. Lately I've been doing 0.2. Seat horizontal is the same, but it's forward and backward. So you can move the camera forward and backward. Tilt factor is going to determine how much the camera and the bike tilt together in corners. So if you have tilt factor on 0, the camera will stay level with the horizon and the bike will tilt under you. If you have tilt factor on 1, the camera's going to tilt in the corner with you. I like mine at about 0.3. Camera pitch is the new setting we just added. So this changes the pitch of the camera. You can have it look all the way down 20 degrees, or you can have it look up 20 degrees. I've been messing around with different settings here. I'm not sure what I like the most yet, but I think a little bit up helps you in corners, because when you're banking in a corner and the camera's tilted up higher, you can see more through the corner. So those are all of the camera settings. So yes, you can customize it quite a bit to how you like it. Oh, there's also a lock camera to bike. So this is the same as like his MX bikes. It works good on. If you turn it off, it can be a little bit buggy, but I will compare. So let me turn this off and we'll go hit some jumps real quick, and I'll show you the difference here. So if you have a lock camera to bike off, if I do a whip or something in the air, the camera's going to keep looking forward when the bike moves under me. We'll do that one more time, and then I'll switch it and show you guys the other way. So if you want the whips to look really steezy, you probably want to turn lock camera to bike off. And then if you move the FOV back even more, and then you really see the bike underneath you, it starts looking kind of cool. But I can go and change this to on. And now when I do a whip, you'll see the camera's going to move and face the direction the bike's facing. See? So that's those settings. Very customizable. Make it how you want it. Looks like everyone's running mostly downhill on here. Some people on enduro. You know what? Let's mess around too. Let me show you guys some of the other new stuff we've done with the drone. So if you don't know, I used to fly FPV, and I really wanted a game that I could practice chasing people in FPV. So we've put an FPV sim in the game. You can actually use an FPV controller. Whoop. There we go. And you can fly like a full-on FPV sim. Chase people around. What's my camera angle at? 20. So we've actually got 4 different drone types in the game now. We've got FPV with full acro mode. We've got an FPV drone with horizon mode, level mode, and then we've got the arcade drone. And I've added a whole bunch of new settings to all these different drones, so you can customize the drone, the way they feel, the weight, the gravity. You can do different throttle values. You can adjust your rates. You can do all kinds of different stuff. So we're really trying to make a full-fledged drone sim within the game, so FPV pilots can come in here. Obviously not me because I'm terrible, but FPV pilots can come in here and practice chasing people. So we're pretty proud of what we've been doing here.
And they'll be able to restart kind of as efficiently as the person they're filming would be able to restart if they're sessioning a trail, right, Joe?
Yeah, just like that. They crash, I can restart right back at the top in the drone.
To me, it's just such a cool, natural. It's almost like one of those things that seems obvious, yet I don't think anybody's ever done it before. Like I know there were sim games, obviously.
Yeah.
But I don't think that there's ever been a mashup quite like this. I haven't seen one. I've tried to find one. Guys, if I'm wrong, tell me.
There's been some games that modders have added it, but I've never seen a game that was not meant to be a drone sim that has a full-on FPV drone sim within it. Like I said, of course it has a mod, but the devs didn't make that. Minecraft has a mod, but I think from first-party developer support, I think we might be the first. Sometimes I just get carried away with this thing, and I just get in here and fly around. Can't stop.
What up, Blonde Jesus? Nice to see you back. Caleb Porter says, Joe, lock in. Just beat your time on the second run.
Oh, come on. What is that nonsense? On this trail?
I don't know, because I don't know I don't know when that message came over. I just noticed it. But he'll answer, I'm sure.
And if you're FPV pilot out there and you want to give it a spin, send us a DM or something. And I want to get some experienced FPV pilots in here testing it and giving us feedback so we can make it as good as possible. This isn't just some gimmick I'm trying to add to the game. I really want this to be legit. And I've got about 100 hours flying FPV in real life and in various sims. And to me, this feels good. I'm satisfied with it. I'm sure there's people more experienced that would want some changes, but for someone with pretty limited 100 hours of FPV, this to me is already pretty good.
And we're all ears if those people want to play it and let us know why and how. Always all ears.
But switch back to the bike. What do you think of Descenders? We think Descenders is great, man. We've been playing Descenders for a long time too. I just think Descenders lacks in certain areas. One is racing. They didn't add racing until just recently, and it's still not kind of like World Cup style global leaderboard racing. It's more like party racing with a party of your friends. I also think, we're just going for something different. It's more about riding on trails that feel a little more realistic. It's, we're trying to take tech seriously, rocks and routes and things like that, which other games fail to do. Most other mountain bike games, it's just like smooth trails everywhere, which isn't how real riding is. So love Descenders. I think it's a great game. But yeah, we're just trying to make a different version of a mountain bike game than they are.
What up, Cordial? Good to see you, man.
I kind of compare it to Call of Duty and Battlefield. I love playing both those games, but they're different. And anyone who's played both of them will tell you that they're different. And it's the same thing.
Got a request for Hadley Bike Park in the future from my guy without a discernible username. I would call you by name if I knew what to call you. I'll just call you Leaf.
If I can tidy up. Where am I at? 3 seconds might be hard, but I did have a really bad end sector on my PR right now. If we can clean that up, we might shave some time back with a little berm skip right here. Ooh, I think oh, nope, screwed it up. This looks sick, man. Proud of y'all. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Here's one you'll be able to answer well, Joe. AJ on the Red app says, my MacBook Pro 2022, which I think is what my old MacBook was that I moved away from. Probably an M2, I'm guessing, AJ, is struggling to run cranked at the moment. What settings should I change to get the best performance? You talked about this a little bit in the video yesterday that you did on YouTube, Joe.
Yep. First of all, if you're on TikTok and you can't see all these settings, turn your phone sideways and open it into like the full landscape mode, and you'll get a better view. But yeah, let's talk about settings, because a lot of these maybe are not self-explanatory. First of all, if you're on Mac, the native Mac resolution is ridiculous. It's like, what, 4K, 5K, something crazy. You have to turn that down. A Mac is not going to be able to run it at full resolution. I recommend you turn that down to 1080. So you want to come to the video settings, go to the resolution, knock that thing down to 1080. That immediately is going to give you better performance. I would also, if you're on a Mac, turn on FPS cap enabled, put this on. Your screen refresh rate's probably 120. You could try 120, but it's probably going to be too much. I would say turn that down to 60. Then you want to go to graphics. You could try changing the quality. It's probably honestly not going to do too much, but maybe go to medium there. You could turn off fog, post-processing, shadows, see if that helps. The LOD bias will probably help quite a bit. What that does is it changes like how far in the distance objects load in. So the lower you have that, the better for performance. And terrain pixel area is the opposite. So the lower you have this, the harder it is on performance. If you crank this up, you'll actually get better performance. And that's like how detailed the objects in the distance are, or something like that. But my biggest recommendation on a Mac is you got to turn that resolution down. Go to 1080 and you'll get much better performance.
It was on a quantum computer, hence him having all of the settings turned up to their max.
But yeah, I used to play on an M1 Max, MacBook Pro, and it could play it fine. I now got a new MacBook, an M5 Max, and obviously that plays it fine. But even on my M5 Max, I'm turning that resolution down to 1080 just to get the most performance I can. Man, I keep missing that one gate. If you guys got questions, man, we're here for you guys. So ask away, and we will answer anything you got.
One thing I'll talk a little bit about is sometime back we kind of piloted a program we called Cranked Collabs, and it's basically just a way that we can partner with anybody who's into mountain bikes. Like we partnered with Cam McCall's band Space Mesa before, and we partnered with a couple bike shops, Rad Dog and Pathfinder, and I think we did maybe four or five, I can't remember. But it was a pilot. We wanted to see if it was going to work. We thought it was pretty cool. We're going to ramp it back up again here real soon. Today I got the next partner for Cranked Collabs in the bag. So it's a cool one. I'm not going to say who it is quite yet. But it's a cool one that I'm super, super pumped about. So here soon in the next few weeks probably we'll get that program started again. And hopefully, Joe, I was thinking, man, it'd be nice to, I don't know, you tell me, but it would be nice if maybe the first customization we would get into the game would be,
I think so.
Crank
Collabs.
Those t-shirts.
Absolutely.
It's not just theoretical, when you're like, here, reserve this shirt and you'll get it in the future. That's not, that's more pilot material. But if we're rolling this thing out, I think getting it in the plan of when we're actually going to be able to rock these t-shirts is a good idea.
I agree. I think the first customization should just be Crank Collabs.
So anyway, that'll ramp up again soon. Julian's going to help out with that program, and we're going to get a lot more aggressive with it. So I'm pretty pumped about it, and I'm really pumped with our next partner. Maybe I'll announce them in next week's stream, Joe.
That'd be nice. All right, I think this will be good. Let's see. Are we going to be good? Yeah, there's a new time. Let's see where that puts me. Up into 7th. A little bit better. 107. Top guys are doing 102. So I have probably 1,000 hours in this game now, obviously, since I've been the one making it. This just kind of gives you, it shows you the skill gap in this game. It's ridiculous. I mean, we can go to the third page. These leaderboards haven't been up for very long, but we've got people in the 130s, 2 minutes, and the top guy is a 102. So the skill gap is ridiculous. If we go to a trail that's had a leaderboard for more time, like Lakeside, top guy 43. If we go all the way to the end page here, we're talking over a minute and 7 and 43. So the skill gap is massive. Yes, it's easy to pick up, easy to understand. But it is hard to master, and it's hard to do a perfect run. There's probably no perfect run. But Sutton is a beast. He is the GOAT right now. That is for sure. We're talking about having new tags because you have like player tags. You know, if we type in chat, you can see different tags. Like mine says dev. So if you see the dev tag, but I want to add other ones like a world record tag. So if you're a world record holder, it would say like WR. If you know, I think whoever holds the most world records could have like a goat tag. So Sutton would just permanently have the goat tag. I think that'd be kind of fun. We could switch trails. We've been on this one for a little bit, and I just got a new time. So I feel like when I get a new time, it's time to switch. Marigold. I want to play Marigold. It's a blue trail. It's easier. I think I want to go... I'm going to go on Enduro. Top time is an Enduro. Our bikes, so right now we just have the Frameworks downhill bike. We will be putting in different bike models, but we're testing the different bike physics. So if you guys are playing on your keyboard, you can hit the number 1, 2, 3, or 4. 1 is downhill, 2 is enduro, 3 is trail, and 4 is the e-bike. You cannot record a time with the e-bike. You can race it, but it's not going to save your leaderboard time. You can't change a bike during a race. You have to wait in between a race. But we're testing out those physics for the different bike types. They do feel different, and we're going to get different bike styles and designs and different real replica bikes in here for all the different bike types. So that'll be coming soon.
You going to do a separate leaderboard for e-bikes?
I think people have been talking about it. I think it would be fun. So I think we could do like e-bike leaderboards as well. Yeah. But this is Marigold. It's a blue trail. You might think, oh, that's too easy. It's boring. I'm telling you, get on here. There's so many little hidden lines, hidden secrets, hidden trail off of this. I can show you guys where stuff is if you want spoilers. But our plan for this open world exploration type mountain bike game is to have a lot of hidden trails, Easter eggs here and there. We really want people to explore and just kind of get lost in the woods and have fun with it. There'll be animals eventually and all kinds of fun stuff.
So AJ, who you helped with settings earlier, just came back and said he switched it to 1080p and it's running way better. So
yes, dude, let's go.
I want to Erdell. I think I got your name right. Ask, can my laptop run the playtest? I'm going to drop some specs on you, Joe. Tell me what your take is when you hear the specs. An NVIDIA N100 processor, 4 gigabytes of RAM, NVIDIA UHD 730 graphics card. Any comments on that?
I think that's like super old, if I am right with my
the 4
graphics card
RAM,
knowledge.
Also, the 4 gigabytes of RAM makes me think it's super old. I don't know much about the other stuff, but
yeah, if it's VRAM, that's not so terrible. But if it's like the main RAM, then that's pretty bad.
Okay.
The playtest is free though. I mean, you can go download it, try it out, put everything on low, and see what happens. But I will say that this open world map you get in the Patreon does run better because there's less like vegetation and stuff than the demo map.
You can get the playtest now if you want to check it out. Also, please wishlist us while you're there at Steam. But do note that the playtest is going to come down very soon because it's just not playing nearly as well as the open world, and we don't want it to represent the game wrong. We don't want a playtest to be worse than the game because then you don't understand what we're building. So we're going to pull it down and figure out a new approach. So grab it while you can, I would say.
Stick to Fika Break because you could try the other trails obviously too, but some of the other trails are just really hard to play right now. The difficulty level of them just got nuts because the physics have changed. But Fika Break is still really playable and fun. But the other ones are not so great.
Sometimes Wise finally getting a break from school and going to get a chance to play the latest builds, Joe. Julian, our marketing coordinator, is also soon to get a break from school, maybe forever. He graduates from WVU.
Hell yeah.
Super pumped.
Congrats.
He started working officially for Cranked at the beginning of April, though. So he's kind of officially right now the part-time marketing coordinator for Cranked. Super pumped to have you, son. Doing a great job.
Yeah, me too. All right, we're up. Can we keep it? If you guys don't know, a little tip here to go faster is hop around a little bit, get playful with it. You're a tiny bit faster in the air than on the ground. We kept it that way because we realized it's actually really fun to just like be playful and jump around a bunch. So Oh, and then I missed the gate right at the end. Let's finish it just to see where we would have been. Oh, and we were
Your
2 seconds
username,
up.
but he says, "Wait, is this based in West Virginia?" I mean, I'm in Morgantown, and Julian, our marketing coordinator, is in Morgantown as well. So 2 of us are in West Virginia. Joe's in El Paso, but he's from Chicago. Hodge is from Chicago. Fish is from Colorado. Maggie's from Sweden. Tobias is from Sweden. We're from all over the place. Cedric's from Canada. We are a multi-country team.
Damien from Florida.
Damien, our new hire. Also, we should talk about that. We hired, talked about him a little bit already, but we hired Damien from Florida. Used to work on the Chasing the Dream motocross game. We worked with him some back when we were trying to make that game work, and we are stoked to have you on the team, Damien. I didn't see you in the chat or anything, but
Wonder if he even knows we do these.
yeah, I don't know. We should tell him that probably.
And if you are watching, Damien, if you ever want to be on as a guest sometime, let us know. But yeah, you know, in the world of a bunch of AI, we're still hiring artists to make handmade art because we think that's where art should be. So a lot of people ask us about our stance on AI. We do use AI for a lot of stuff, keeping us organized, for productivity, for helping us code. But when it comes to art, you know, the final art assets that you guys are going to see in the game are going to be made by actual artists. And it's, you know, that's our plan. That's how we want it. So Maggie and Damien and Cedric are the ones who've been putting all the art touches on everything you see here. All right, we're
What's
up.
the roadmap looking like art-wise, Joe? Like now that we've got
I could show you guys.
2 artists working. Yeah, when you get a chance, let's talk about the art roadmap for a while.
Maggie put together a pretty comprehensive roadmap, obviously subject to change, but gives us a really good idea of like what the art department's plans are. Oh, we made it. All right, here we go. Let's lock it in. 2.09 up. Let's see what we got. This section, I have missed markers in this section. It can be a little tricky because it's very fast. Little ace of flip. There we go. So what did we go from? A 212 to a 210, which puts us from the second page to the first page. All right, what were we just saying we needed to show? I forgot already.
The art roadmap.
Oh yeah. Let me pull it up and give me a second, guys, but I will find it. Brian, if you want to like answer any questions or do anything while I attempt to find this.
Right now. As we said before, if you're hanging out with us and you haven't wish listed us on Steam, we would love it if you do it. It's super helpful, and we're being really deliberate about it, trying to build that as much as we can. When people wish list games on Steam, it helps a lot because it sends signals to Steam that it's got some momentum, and that is the thing that can get Steam to then shine some light on you as well. So if you ever hear us say it's super helpful when you wish list us on Steam, that's kind of what we mean. Like the more people who do that, the more Steam hears, hey, people are interested in us, and then they'll feature us in different ways. We had to get over 7,500 wish lists to get to the point where they would do that, I think, but we passed that a week or 2 ago. So now it's just like we're eligible for this type of extra exposure, and anytime you all wish list us or tell your friends to wish list us or whatever, it's super helpful. So I will say that. Riley says physics look better than Descenders. I'm glad you like it. We're making the physics the way we like them for sure. To us, they're the best of all mountain bike physics, but of course that's going to depend on the individual player. That is not so much objective as it is subjective. I never know how to refer to people who don't have a name in their username because I'm old probably. But this person says, will you expand on the fine-tuning controls for steering, etc., like you did for the FPV drone? Well considered question. Nice job on that
one. For steering and things?
Yeah, like will a person be able to dial in the way they can control the bike in a similar way to the way they can dial in their FPV controls?
That kind of falls into like the tuning territory and bike setups, which we talked about a little bit ago. So that stuff probably won't come very soon, but maybe someday. But getting the proper feel for an FPV drone is a lot more. I don't know. I feel like they're just different. So I don't know. I would like players to be able to kind of customize their bike feel too, but I think if we can just dial in like proper bike feel for everyone, for now, that's going to be a lot easier.
Makai says there kind of is with the steering curve that Hodge added.
That's true. I don't know if you guys can see this, but this is the art roadmap. So I don't know, whoever was asking, what did I just do? I don't want magnifier.
Like Makai should be on here one of these days. As much as helpful. Makai, would you ever want to do one of these streams with us? You're always so helpful, and you obviously are passionate about this project. You're such a massive part of the community and the effort overall. I think it'd be awesome to have you on here sometime.
But real quickly, we're right here in this week. So you can see we're working on material library, asset stuff, zone planning. Damien's working on the root tool, which he just finished. Now he's doing some shader in other things. Day-night cycle, getting the mail rider in there. Then we're going to be working on fog, skybox, post-processing. Then after that, water's getting reworked, grass shaders, better trees, better rocks, more assets like fallen trees, twigs, trunks. Spoiler alert, there's some branded gear going in the game here. And then after all of that kind of stuff, after May, we're getting an intern. So the intern will start working on props for the bike shop, trail props. We're going to have a cafe, Aaron's Cafe. Aaron, you in chat? Where you at, Aaron?
I haven't seen her today.
Aaron's one of the OGs who's been hanging around and giving us good ideas in the community. And we're going to have a little cafe down there called Aaron's Cafe. People can go there. They can meet up with other people, find people to play with, just hang out. But then there's a bunch of different bikes coming in. We got all these brands partnering with us. So later it's going to be about getting the bikes in, finishing up the different zones, decorating the different zones, customization. VFX will come down later. And then towards the end, it's all about just polishing and making things look pretty. So that's the art roadmap. What other questions we got, Brian?
Looking right now. Erdell's asking how much the game will cost. We've gotten that a few times. We don't know. We really work hard to do the right things in the right order. When you're a small team, you got to be really smart about the way you do things. And we've also made games for so long that we've learned from making mistakes in the past. So things like what it's going to cost, it's just not the right time for that. We usually say we think $25 to $35, somewhere in that range. But again, that's just what it feels like to us. When the time is right, we'll make that decision. But the main thing we're super committed to is making a game that's a fair value and a good value. It's never going to have microtransactions. We're coming from a free-to-play world that neither Joe nor I are, we're kind of over that, and we don't want to go down that road. And I don't think anybody on the team ever wants to mess with that stuff in this game. So we're just going to make a really good game, the best we can, and we're going to charge a fair price for it, but one that keeps us in business. And let her rip, man. See how it goes. That's the plan. Good question. Thank you. It's a sensible question to ask, especially these days when everything costs so much money.
Okay, we'll put it this way. It'll probably be less than a tank of gas. So there you go.
Probably will.
I mean, you can hop on Patreon for about a gallon of gas now in play. So,
Makai says he's not that interesting, so he doesn't know if he could carry that. Well, you don't have to come on in place of me. You can come on when I'm on as well, and then you don't have to carry it. You just kind of hang out and chime in when you want to. It's an open offer, brother. If you want to do it, we'd love to have you. I'd like to learn more about you. Honestly, you're such a huge part. Like I'm always telling Joe and Julian, like, man, Makai's like once again giving us good ideas and good counsel and feedback. Yep. So I'd love to just have you on just to get to know you a little bit better. Actually, it'd be cool.
I mean, you and a lot of the other OG crew too. Yeah. I think like a big part of the reason we appreciate the way you guys. It's not only the feedback you give, but the way you guys give it. Like you're never disrespectful. You're never rude. You don't come across like you're talking shit. Like it's just respectful, constructive criticism just because you truly want the game to be better, and that's what we want.
Right, and that approach on the Discord is one of the things I think that sets the tone for it being such a respectful place. Like our Discord is really hopping. It grows quickly. I haven't been able to spend much time there lately because I'm insanely busy lately. But I know Joe and Julian are there all the time. Hodge is there all the time. Cedric, the whole crew is hanging out over there pretty much. So, and then when we've got members of the community who are there helping to hold it down and sort of establish that approach you're talking about, Joe, it just makes everything a place you want to hang out, basically.
Yep.
Cool.
People are helping each other with their bikes and how to fix stuff, and I mean, it's a cool place to be. Helping each other dial in their camera settings for recording videos on their bikes and all kinds of stuff.
How to go faster, all kinds of
Ooh,
stuff.
there we go. 2010 to 208. Where does that put us? Moves us up into 6th. All right, let's move it on. We've gotten 2 better times on that now. Let's move it on.
Thanks for the follow, Jay. Tay asks if you can whip. So yeah, Tay, it's all physics based. Joe will show you some whipping here when he gets a chance. You can whip, backflip, front flip, 360. Anything you can do with physics, you can do.
Let me do a little style run for you guys.
All right. Little 360 action.
You can scandy flick both sticks and brake in a corner. You'll kind of flick it out a little bit. Can I get a flip in here? Yeah. I'll get a whip for you too. I know you wanted a whip. Depending on your camera settings, they can look good or bad, or bad or good, whatever. Anyway, the whips and scrubs are still work in progress. We're gonna redo a lot of that stuff soon. But one thing that's really unique about this game is, you can really angle the bike and tilt it, so you can like hop into a berm and really tilt the bike to kind of land exactly how you want it. It's really fun to hit hips. There's a really sick hip coming up. But like this, I can angle the bike in. It's very playful. Cut this corner. So here comes probably the best hip in the game.
Yeah, this is cool.
Oh, I forgot that jump's tiny. Let's see if we can get back to it. Yeah, we got speed. Fronty. The way flips and spins work, if you guys didn't know, is like just like in real life. If you tuck while in a flip, you're going to flip faster. And if you stand up and like pencil up in a spin, you'll spin faster. So use the right stick to either tuck or stand up. If I do a flip untucked, see how slow that was, and then I tuck and it speeds it up. So that's how all the flippy, spinny stuff works. What was I about to go run? I think it was Radiation Ridge. Named after my mom's dog, Vinny.
Oh, nice, Vinny. What Joe just described is the reason why I personally feel like he's sort of peerless when it comes to being a game designer of this type of a game, because Joe has, you can know riding very well, but you never made a game before, or you can know how to make games really well, but maybe you aren't not the type of rider who really understands what's going on and can describe it and know what's right and what's wrong. Joe is this combination of both of those things. 13 years of experience designing video games or whatever it is, plus a lifetime of experience doing anything in action sports. He can ride everything. He gets it all. He flies drones, all this stuff. I think it makes you sort of peerless in this because you have all of that knowledge and capacity and understanding, but you also know how to be a game designer. That's not super easy to do. I mean,
thanks.
There's a reason why you can't just be just because you're good at something at one part of that doesn't mean you're going to be good at the other side of it. But I think you're good at both of those things. And I think it's a real opportunity for anybody who wants to learn how to design video games, because you do it all in the public. Yep. You do it on these streams. You do it in Discord. Everywhere where you're hanging out, you just talk about it all. If I was a young person who wanted to learn how to design games, I would join our Discord and I would engage with you personally. I think it's the best advice I could give somebody, because you'll answer everybody too.
Yep. Oh, I knew I was going to miss. 9 seconds up. All right, we're going to get a run on Radiation Ridge here. Anyway, let's go over trail names real quick. So we got Radiation Ridge, and we got Scoops right next to each other. Scoops is named after my dog. His name was Jake, but I don't know why we gave him a nickname Scoops. We called him Scoopy. He had like 100 nicknames, but one of them was Scoops, so we named that after him. Radiation Ridge is named after my mom's dog. She's the one who came up with the name, but he had a cancerous tumor on his leg recently and had to get radiation, and now his leg's all like black and looks crazy. And she was like, call it Radiation Ridge. I'm like, that's kind of weird, but sure, Ma, whatever you want. So shout out to my mom. She's usually in chat, but I think she had some appointments today, so she'll be watching the replay of this live stream. His name's Vinny. We love dogs.
Track names. Let's do this. Let's just throw it out there for a round of people giving us cool track names. I don't know if we'll use them or not, but I'll take some screenshots if I see some cool ones, and if we do end up using one of the names that y'all give, we'll do a shout out at some point and give you credit for it. So if anybody has ideas for track names, throw them up in the comments.
Oh. Come on, hit the wall ride. Yeah. All right, we're good. Should be good. This part.
And the game is called Cranked, and you can wish list it on Steam right now. And we would love it if you did wish list us on Steam today.
Oh, you gotta get on the brakes. I'm going too fast. Nope, we saved
No, you're
it.
good.
Oh, what the heck? That was
Wow.
that part's so gnarly. This part's hard though. You got to maintain high level of speed through these jumps, and if you don't, nope, not gonna. It's over. You really got to come in with speed on those jumps. It's tough.
JW Hassey says, looks like it's hard to crash. If you watch me play, you wouldn't probably say that.
I will say though,
Joe's really good, FYI. But
we've over time, and it's still a work in progress, tuning the crash physics and the crash detection and stuff. We used to have a thing called sideways crash detection. So if I was to land sideways, I would crash. Like all those right there, that last section I just hit, hopping around on those berms, kind of landing sideways, it would have been a crash before. And we realized it was just it just wasn't fun. It's way more fun to just not have that in there and let people get wild with it. If you land sideways, it does slow you down significantly. So, it's not like you can just do whatever you want and send stuff everywhere. Like that should be a crash. So that's something we need to fix. Usually if you land on that route, you do crash. I don't know why that time I just kind of stopped. But so some of the stuff is a work in progress. But yeah, you definitely can crash. And people will be crashing all the time in here. But it's not fun to crash. It's more fun to get a sick run. So some of the crash stuff is pretty forgiving.
AJ says that there's a trail near him called Aviata. Pretty good. And then Caleb says you guys should do it. This is kind of a cool idea. I like the thinking here, Caleb. He says do a trail that is called Zero to Chaos, or maybe even Zero to Hero would work if you want some rhyming. And it starts easy, like real easy, and then gets real gnarly at the end. That'd be interesting.
Yeah. It's Ducku. Can you add a setting to reset? This reset settings button? There is. At the bottom of like every settings tab, there's a reset to defaults. So like if you want to reset the controls, just go to the controls tab and go to the bottom and hit reset the defaults. We do have a bunch of trail names in here named from the community. Like, let's see. Siggy Stardust was a Patreon member, joined the $100 tier, one of my buddies. And if you join the $100 tier, you get to name a trail. So that was one that he named. Model Ships is actually, Antgrass named it, but it was a track name from the band I was in high school. What else was there? We have a trail over here. This was a TikTok post that I made, and I asked people to name this one trail, and my favorite ended up being Rudy Pebbles. So Rudy Pebbles was named by one of you guys in the community.
Yeah, it was the guy who won or podiumed at our Pathfinder play party came up with that name.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Morgantown, West Virginia. Yeah, I saw that dude, or one of those dudes who was real fast the other day. I saw him at Pathfinder. Actually, I'd stopped into the shop. Nice. And he was there.
Ooh, that was fast. Oh no, blew the berm. So a lot of times when you're going fast, to the guy who asked earlier, it looks like it's hard to crash. If you're going for high speed runs, like you're going to screw up. You might not end up crashing, but you're going to mess up a line, or you're going to be offline, or miss a gate. And, that's going to probably force you to restart more often than you actually crashing. But the biggest way you probably crash now is from a heavy hit. Like there is a G-force crash detection. It's different per bike. So the downhill bike is going to allow you to like land the heaviest, where a trail bike is going to be much more sensitive. So some of these big drops, like if I was on the trail bike and like hit this drop right here, like I'm going to die. But on the downhill, you can send something like that. Maybe it's ridiculous, but it's fun. So don't really care.
Something I did not know, but now know, is that Banana told me, just said in the Red app, that Rudy Pebbles is actually a snowshoe trail. There you go. Cool. That explains why a local guy from around here picked that name, because he probably has ridden snowshoe 1,000 times. I've been talking to those guys at Snowshoe lately, and they're playing some Cranked, and we've talked about doing something together maybe one day, which would be cool. our local, previously UCI track anyway. Hopefully again one day. We'll see.
Oh. Ba, 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 ba.
Thank you for the heads up on that, Banana. I did not know that. Now we do. Nate wants to know if we're adding tricks in the game. Well, you can do any tricks right now that you can do with physics, but like other tricks with animations and stuff, it's long been talked about. It's long been kind of on the plan of the ultimate plan, but I think it's still, the last I heard anyway, it was coming after 1.0. I assume that's
Yeah.
still the case, Joe?
Yeah, definitely. That'll be, we'll probably plan for like a big 2.0 update that'll have dirt jumpers and tricks and things like that. But for 1.0, we're focused on like racing, downhill, enduro, trail, and e-bike, getting those dialed in, making it feel good, and like really get the physics dialed in. And then from there, we'll start adding on, doing dirt jumpers and tricks and maybe BMX bikes and who knows what else you guys come up with that you want us to add. But as long as the game's successful, we're making money. I want to keep adding all kinds of bikes, different bike modes, different race modes, cross country. We've been talking recently about doing like a bike packing adventure mode where, you can just go on like, go on a couple 100-mile ride and like across
That's
the
cool.
country or something. Like that would be amazing.
Rafi says you should add, speaking of which, says you should add the Crankworks slope style from Austria.
That would be sick.
That would be sick.
We do have a connection with Crankworks because of Cam McCall, so we will try to do some Crankworks collabs in the future.
I don't know if we've said this, but have we talked about that we've kind of officially partnered with Cam in a way? Or, I mean, have we
I
talked
think
about
we've
this
mentioned
publicly?
it, but yeah, we could talk about it again.
Well, yeah, I'll let you talk about it. You guys, a lot of you probably know Cam McCall is. He's been
Yeah.
on the stream a couple times, just our buddy. Joe, but he's a little more than that now. We've got some specific plans for Cam and Crank. What you got?
Yeah,
coming?
so Cam is part of a company called Edge Action Sports, and they're like a action sports instruction coaching platform. So if you want to learn how to be better on your mountain bike, you can go to Edge Action Sports and sign up. And Cam McCall has a bunch of training videos on there, and we thought it'd be kind of fun to partner with them and have Cam McCall and Edge Action Sports be part of the game. And he's actually going to be our tutorial agent. So Cam will be in the game teaching you how to play the game, just like he teaches people how to ride in real life. So yeah, we're excited to get that. He's going to help me like write the onboarding and write the script, and he'll do some voiceover for the tutorial stuff. And that's the plan.
We're going to be careful with it. We want it to be helpful but not annoying, because if you have the same person saying the same thing over and over again, that gets annoying. So we want to be really smart about how we do it. But I think that's the case with everything we do. We try to be anyway. I'm stoked about it. Cam brings good energy to things. So
Yeah, he does.
I'm all about it.
Super cool guy. Someone asked when's it coming out on Steam. They're getting impatient or something along those lines. You can give the wish list on Steam. The downside of us like making this game in the open from almost day one is that games take a long time to make, and most people would be making this behind closed doors up until now, and you wouldn't even know it exists. And then by the time it gets announced, there's a lot less waiting time. But we wanted to pull you guys in early, which means some of you guys, feels like you're going to be waiting a long time. But we're hoping for a launch early next year is the plan. So hopefully less than a year, and it'll be out on Steam.
And we've been speeding up. I mean, this team, these guys, I say we, I'm not really doing any of the work on the game itself, but these guys who are the whole team, they're just picking up speed. And now that we've got Julian on the team, which takes Joe away from some of the marketing stuff and frees him up to push harder. And we've got Damien on the team making more art, which is a huge deal. And Hodge is kicking butt. And so I don't know, you guys are doing incredible work, and you're moving super fast. And hopefully that means that the game doesn't have delays, and it'd be amazing if it even came out earlier than we were originally thinking. Would be nice.
Yeah, I mean, for a team of 4 to 5 people, if you guys look at our patch notes, like we did an update yesterday, we did an update the week before. You look at how much we're shipping with 4.5 people. It's pretty impressive, actually. I'm super proud of the team. Everyone's been crushing it, putting in a lot of hard work. And it shows.
We've got 2 good questions, and I'm going to read them both just so both know that we're going to answer them, and then we can just do one at a time.
Cool.
Charlie Mosley asks, what is there left to do in the game? That's not the question we'll start with because it's a big question. So we'll do that one second. But it's a good opportunity to take a look at the roadmap maybe and talk about what's left. But all the S's is hanging out with us again. What's up, brother? Always good to see you. Been around from a very long time, basically from the start, I think. Says, is there going to be a story narrative for the game? So maybe start with that, Joe.
I'd like to, in chat, what do you guys think? Give me like a thumbs up or thumbs down emoji. Do you guys want a story? But here's my thoughts on it is when I play a game like this, like here's a good example, Shredders. I love Shredders. I think Shredders is maybe the best action sports game out right now. It's amazing. So this is not me talking bad about Shredders. I absolutely love and adore Shredders. But like when it comes to the challenges and in the little career, like the little story blurbs and all that stuff, I just skip it. I don't care. I'm sorry to whoever wrote that stuff and spent a lot of time making that, but it just doesn't interest me. Like I think the last story in a game that was like light and I actually kind of like enjoyed and got into was Karen, the climbing game. Like that story, it was nice. It wasn't overly heavy. I didn't have to read a bunch. It was very short, but still had meaning. So I think if we did do it, I'd want it to be very light. It's not going to be stuff that's popping up all the time. But I just think in these kind of action sports games, I don't know how much people really care about a story. I'm not sure. So let me know what you guys think. I got one thumbs down over there. I got one thumbs up. So. But we talk about that other question. The other question was what's left to do in the game? And that's a loaded question. Yep. There's a lot left to do. So art is a huge one. Like this world is not decorated. There's so many things missing. We need different bike models. We need customization. We need to get all the different rider gear in here. VFX, stuff like camera shake and motion blur and hair and jerseys flapping in the wind. Better skin and wrists and gloves and the list goes on and on. Day and night cycle, weather, what we call decals. So like when I get to a section like on the rocks over here, sometimes it's hard to know. Like right here is a good example. It's hard to know which way I'm supposed to go. So we want to put decals on the rocks so it looks like tire marks. So you can like clearly see, oh, there's tire marks leading this direction. I should follow that. So a lot of stuff like that. Third person camera, we're not happy with at all. It needs a full rework. A lot of the animations of like whips and scrubs and the movement needs to be improved. I'd like to improve the suspension. The air physics need to be improved. We've got the entire career mode. We've got some of it going on. We've got a challenge tab here, and there's a bunch of different challenges you can do in zone 1 now. But we have 6 zones planned, so like all the other zones need to be fleshed out and add challenges. There's quite a bit of stuff left to do. So that's what we're busy working on. Obviously, tricks we want to get in the game at some point. What else?
Carly, thank you for the follow. Andre, thank you for the follow. We've had a number of people following us today on the different apps. Ortiz, thank you very much. If there's anybody else here, we got to give some shout outs to. Yeah, like Jonah and DBK Adon and Julian, thank you for sharing the live. I don't know if that counts because he works for us, but
Dylan asks, will there be multiplayer races? So right now, the way we're doing it is leaderboard. Like it's kind of time attack style, like it would be in real life. In real life on a downhill race, you're not racing on the trail at the same time. You see who's got the best time, and then there's a leaderboard, and you see who wins. So that's kind of how the racing is set up. For multiple reasons. One, that's how it is in real life, but 2, it's a lot harder to program in collisions and real-time racing and make all that sync and work well. And for a small team like us on a tight budget, for now, that's not in the plans. In the future, probably will be. But we do have our first multiplayer game mode that should be coming in the game next week. And basically you'll get 15 minutes on a trail in this open world multiplayer lobby. You can go around, do whatever you want, but every 15 minutes you'll get a notification saying a new race session is starting. And if you want to join it, you can hit a button and join it, or you can ignore it and keep doing what you're doing. And then you'll have 15 minutes to set your best time on a trail. There's a leaderboard just for those 15 minutes. And then at the end, you see who won. And then you get a chance to vote on what the next race should be, what trail the next race should be on. And it just continually a 15-minute loop of seeing who can get the best time in 15 minutes.
Man, today is just such a good stream so far. Everybody in the chat is just being awesome and asking amazing questions. Everybody's being cool. This is like one of the best We
Yeah,
haven't done one in a while, Joe, so it's kind of nice to come back, and
I
the
know.
dynamic is just so good. But I have another good question for you. Speaking of which, um, coming from now, I just gotta find it after I talked about it. Maximilian asks, "Will there be a train spawn so my friends and I can spawn behind each other? And will there be Europe servers?"
Yes. So what you're talking about is something I've wanted in this game forever. Is I want a way, if I'm playing with friends, to instantly catch back up with my friend. Like if we're riding a train down a trail and one of us crashes, it's no fun to like wait for your friends to get back to the top and session it again and blah blah blah. There's just going to be a button and you'll just respawn right behind your buddies again in flow and ready to go. So that's in the plans, and we'll make sure that that happens. We want like playing with friends to be as stress free and as fun as possible. So I want you guys to like complete challenges together, do whatever you want together. I think it's silly when games have like a single player mode and then it has like co-op multiplayer, but it's only like the co-op is only progressing one of the two person's career path and not the other, and it's like I just want it to be as fun and relaxed as it possibly can be. And European servers, we will make sure servers are wherever they need to be to make it fun for everyone. Right now, we have one server, and we've done tests, and it's like there's really no need to have any more because even most of our players are actually in Europe or in the UK or wherever, and it works fine. Like it's been fine. There's like you see some like rubber bandy twitchiness if I get close to someone. That's actually not networking. That's something else that we need to figure out. I don't know if it's camera related or some Unity thing, but it's not network related because when we've done it locally with not over the network at all, we're still getting that same kind of jitteriness. But yeah, we'll spin up servers wherever we need to make it feel good and be fun for people wherever they're playing.
Word.
All right, here we go. Oh, as soon as I said that, I missed a gate. We've got speed on this track. I can get a better time. It's just taking me forever. What is all this? Need a break. Need a water break.
Water break.
Why doesn't multiplayer work for you, Armin? I don't know. If you're still a member on Patreon, if you canceled your membership and you're playing an old version, that could be why. Because sometimes when we do leaderboard resets, it'll deactivate old versions for multiplayer. So that could be a reason. But other than that, I'm not sure. Because it's working for us right now. I like the new mini-map edition because now I can see who's in front of me behind. We do have name tags above, but it's hard to read. So now I can see that Varish is the one ahead of me. Ooh, that was nice to see. I think my line might be shorter there. I wonder if it's, or longer. I wonder if I should be taking that left side. All right, here we go. 4 seconds up. Should be able to get to about 7 seconds up if we can get these next sections. Oh, that was sketchy.
Hey,
Ready?
Joe, I think my camera's turned off on the
Let me
on
fix
front
it.
end for some reason. Must be. It's not my Discord.
Discord probably went to sleep on me,
Thanks, Jax. Appreciate it, brother.
but I'm on a burner, so we're gonna finish this. Then I'll get you fired up again.
AJ says it would be sick to have a way of wrapping your flag on a helmet. You mean your country's flag?
That'd be
We
cool.
used to do that in Mad Skills. Like you could do. I remember when we started to do emojis and stuff on number plates in Mad Skills
Yep.
Motocross. We added countries that you could do, and people liked it.
Oh, that was slow, but I think we're still gonna have a much better time here. Nine seconds. All right, let me fix you. There we
Pog says,
go.
I got the new month and I go into multiplayer, but it kicks me out. So I don't know. I mean, if you're on Discord, man, maybe hop over there and we can try to help you figure it out.
Ooh, I'm close. We're gonna keep grinding this one. I might be able to get a world record here. Suit and don't look. Or second and a half off. But yeah, Taj will help you out in Discord if you can pop in there. I don't know why it would kick you like that.
Alex, what's up? Is the game what did he ask? Is the game on Xbox? Not yet. We're still, this is a game in development, so we're starting with PC. We're still pre-alpha, right, Joe?
Yeah, we're probably getting ready to move in,
Yeah.
like to say we're. I think we could probably say we're alpha now.
It's time. The time has come to move the next. As much work as you've done since pre-alpha began and where we are right now, it is not the same mode at this point. It is time. But anyway, we want to go. We want to bring this game to consoles after we get it out on PC. After we get 1.0 out on PCs, that's kind of what the plan is. We don't know what we're going to do, how we're going to approach it exactly, other than we think it will be good on consoles. But not yet.
I can tell you guys what our goals are for dates. We're pretty open with everything, and we try not to hide anything. But you know, it'll most likely, certainly change. But here are our dates that we're shooting for. I don't know if I've ever even said this publicly, and it almost scares me, but I'll do it anyway. December this year is supposed to be early access launch on Steam for PC. February next year, 1.0 on PC. July next year, console launch. So you're looking at a little over a year for consoles if we can hit our deadlines, which, like I said, most likely maybe won't happen, but we'll see.
Or maybe we'll move faster.
Yeah, you don't know. You don't know.
You never know. One thing that'll cap how fast we can move is just wanting to make our art the real way. Like you can speed things up a lot if you take shortcuts on art, but we're just trying so hard to lean into our artist and real creativity and all that stuff. So that'll cap to some extent how much faster we can go. But we've been picking up speed in general.
Uh-oh. Fast. Hit the grass, slow you down. Little pro tip right there. But didn't slow me down enough. Whoops.
All the S's suggest a playable RC car as an Easter egg. Joe, you never went down that road, did you? RC cars?
I did, actually.
Oh, my God.
That was when I was in the Army. Me and a couple Army buddies had them, and we just like set up tracks and race those little things. We probably spent more time going to the hobby shop buying replacement parts and fixing our trucks than we did racing them, but it was fun.
Don't tempt him, all the S's.
Actually, Hodge is into RC stuff, so I would not be surprised if someday we come out with like an RC an RC upgrade. All right, who's in front of me? It's Varsh again. See, he goes this way. I wonder if it's faster. We'll try it.
Charlie Mosley, who I noticed followed us earlier, thank you, brother, says, will there be a way to make your own trails and then publish them? Yeah, well, modding's a big deal, and I think earlier Joe said Hodge might start on modding as early as next week. So it's a really big deal to us. When Joe first started talking to me about this game, way before he ever started working on it, modding was one of the things that was always like, it has to be. There were a few pillars that I remember him just being set on. Modding was one of them. No free-to-play microtransaction bullshit like that was a big part of it. It was always has to be like a legit game where every decision is made based on is it going to be good or not. Those were two of those early pillars. Multiplayer was always a pillar. So those were three things that were always sort of non-negotiable. And there has been talk about doing a track builder, trail builder type tool that you don't even necessarily have to know as much as you do to mod. But I think we're going to try to work really hard to support the modding community and to provide, educational resources for people who want to learn how to do it, who have never done it before. So hopefully most people who want to do this, even if they've never done it before, will kind of take on the challenge and put in the work that it takes to get good at it and be a part of the community. So yeah, there will definitely be external trails, worlds built by modders for sure. We're going to support it as much as we can.
Oh, did I miss? Yeah, I missed. And it's really not that bad. Like, I didn't know how to make trails or mod or do any of that stuff. And working on this game, I learned. It didn't take me too long. And I think if we can give you guys some good resources and tutorial videos and stuff on how to do it, you'll be able to pick it up.
Really, it would add a new dimension to what Cranked is. You can play when you're in play mode and you just feel like playing and flowing and having fun. You can play when you're feeling creative and you want to make something. Kind of scratches two different itches, really. Will there be any, I haven't thought about this. Will there be any modding elements to the drone? Will modding be able, other than the fact that the drone will be able to film things that people mod, but I mean, will there be anything that a person can mod regarding the drone?
I've told Hodge, I think I've told him that my plan is that with modding, I also want to let the modders have access to a lot of our physics sliders and attributes and change the physics for their maps. And that was always meant for the bike, but we've got similar kind of sliders and physics values for the drone, so we could let the modders have access to the drone ones as well. And that way, if you want to make a map that's like on the moon with moon gravity, like you can do that, or even just tweaking the physics to be more realistic and crashes are harder and whatever. Like, I want modders to have that freedom to do that kind of stuff. So when you load into their map, you'll play with the physics that the modder has intended for their map.
Maximilian asks, how much do you focus or prioritize a realistic graphic style, or will it stay a little bit comic, indie, etc.?
Yeah, we don't want a realistic graphic style at all. It's not in the plans. We never wanted one. It's for multiple reasons. One is because I think when you have realistic graphics, a lot of people are expecting a realistic game. And, we're not trying to make a hardcore realistic simulator. I've done rants on what I think about sims for bike games, and the short version is that you can never really make a full-on proper sim for a bike game because there is no input device that is a bicycle. So your input device is a controller. I cannot simulate what I do on a bike with this. It's impossible. So, we're making a game that feels as close to real riding as possible while still having some arcadey elements to it. And the priority for this game is fun first. So if something isn't fun, we're not going to have it in there. If crashing on every little rock is realistic, but it ruins the fun, then we're not going to put it that way. So, so that's one reason for the graphics here, is to kind of like set the tone. But we also think having a stylized approach allows for a little more creative freedom. It's going to be a little cozier. The colors can be a little unrealistic and maybe extra warm and colorful. And so artistically, that's one choice. But another big reason for it is performance-wise. We can get more performance doing a stylized thing and make this game more playable for more people than if we were to go the realistic route. And that's a big thing too, is we really want this game to be as accessible as possible for as many people as possible. So that's the reasons for our art decisions. Oh, we're still on.
I think to some extent that goes beyond art. Going back to the Mad Skills Motocross 1, when we were making that way back in the day, we oftentimes would be faced with decisions about realism versus fun. And what we kind of arrived at in those projects was like realism, but never at the expense of fun. So like if there's some way, if we're naming something and we can either give it a real name or give it just some generic name, we give it the real name, showing that we're connected to the sport that we're representing. And then also the way that it feels to ride the thing needs to feel realistic, even if every single element of it isn't realistic. So I think it's kind of similar to that right now. Like when it comes to the decisions we make, we want it to be realistic as long as it's not at the expense of fun, and finding that balance. I don't know. I think we have the right team to find that balance. It needs to start with somebody who has judgment and taste, which you have in spades in this sport, Joe. So I think we're good in that way. And basically everyone on the team to some extent has this type of action sports grounding, which helps with that too. So it's fun. It makes it fun, like deciding between, when do we go super realistic, when do we kind of have a little more fun with it. And then we involve the community in this stuff too by rolling these things out, and the people playing the game on Patreon can let us know what they think. And oftentimes that changes the approach that we take, the feedback we get from players.
I don't think this is going to be faster. No way. I will say though, over time, the game has gotten more realistic and harder. So we're slowly kind of getting that way. There has been people who want two different modes, like a sim mode and an arcade mode. But then at that point, we're making two different games, and we're going to have two different sets of leaderboards. And, so that's not going to happen. But we're trying to find a really good balance of like a simcade vibe. Like what I've always told people is, my goal for this game, I watch the top pros. I watch people like Goldstone and Asa Vermette and, Cam McCall just shredding some free ride stuff. And I riding my whole life, I look at that stuff and I go, that just looks like that is the most fun you could possibly have on a bike. And I want to experience that feeling, and I'm never gonna be able to do it in real life. It's just the reality. I'm old now, and it's not happening. So instead I'm trying to make a game where everyone can feel like a pro that's just crushing everything. So the game, the goal wasn't to make some super hard game that takes you 300 hours to like get good at. It's that anyone should be able to pick it up And right from the start, the worst player in the game should still feel like a high-level pro if you compared the riding in the game to how they would be riding in real life. But the skill gap is still there. And the feeling, the feeling is what needs to be realistic, is of like just the flow and shredding and being there with your friends and finding little gaps and whipping the bike around and that excitement when you're on a hot run and you know you're up and you don't want to screw it up, and then you get angry when you kind of miss. Like all those feelings need to be there, and the trails with the roots and the rocks and the gnarliness. All the other mountain bike games, it's smooth trails. Like if you really pay attention, go play Riders Republic or just some Descender stuff outside of mods. It's like very smooth trails, and that's fine. Those games are fun too. But if you really want something that captures what real mountain biking's like, rough, gnarly terrain, rock gardens, roots, things like that, that's what our goal is, and that's what we're trying to make here. And that's the part of the game that's realistic. We're not trying to go for full-on simulation, realistic, whatever, but the feeling of riding and flowing and the trails and the bikes and the gear and all that stuff will be realistic. Oh, that was ridiculous.
Nate wants to know if there's any chance of Squamish-style steep tech slabs, drops, rolls coming.
Are you watching? This is so gnarly. I'm probably not making it look as gnarly as it is because I've played it a bunch, but that rock slab right there is so steep. Yeah. I'm going to hop in the drone after this and just show you. But even in this game, you get a little GoPro effect, so some stuff that is super gnarly will end up looking kind of chill. Oh, I think we're good. Can we clear all these? No, we're not. Maybe. It's going to be close. It's going to be.
Nope. Steady.
Let me show you this.
You can play with the controller. I think it's by far the best with the controller. I think all the top players are playing with the controller, right, Joe?
Yeah. So like, yeah, we got a guy right here we can follow. But like, this is a gnarly rock slab. It's hard to slow down on it. It's steep. If this was real life, I mean, people would barely be. Look at that. I mean, it's crazy. But it's super fun section because you got to come into it, really judge your speed. But like we've got this over here is another one. This is actually a hidden trail, but this one's even gnarlier. Very steep, treacherous, crazy rock slab. So yeah, we're trying to do some Squamish kind of vibe stuff.
Y'all, who's riding? It's starting to get nice out in the northern hemisphere. Who's been out riding? I'm nursing broken ribs, unfortunately, so I'm off my bike for a while, which sucks awfully as the weather gets so beautiful here. But I want to know if y'all are riding, and if so, where you're riding.
Someone asked, I can't look right now, but something about, are we going to provide an asset pack for modding? I don't know if you see that on TikTok, but yes, the modding kit will come with all of our assets, the tools that we use. Like Damien, our new artist, just has developed a route tool for us that can procedurally generate routes on the trail that look really nice and feel nice and are much better than the ones we've been using. So like that tool will be available to modders to make routes on your trails. So yeah, we're going to try to provide you guys with as many resources as possible, not only in the modding kit, but in education and documentation and tutorial videos to make modding.
That was Tom 10, by the way, who asked that question.
Cool. So yeah, we're going to try to do the best we can.
Will modders be able to make assets that then are available to everybody else as well to expand the assets that are available? Is that the plan?
It'd be up to the modder if they want to share their assets. If they were to share their assets, they'd have to share them with us, and we'd have to include it in the modding pack, or they could share it, with people individually, privately, obviously. But yeah, if they want it to be like in the official modding pack, and we want it in there, and we like the style of it, and they're cool with it, then we can make that happen.
What's up, Nitro? You've asked a question that we do get quite a bit. I think Joe answered it once already in the stream, but I'll float it out because you can probably answer it relatively quickly. Would you make it so there would be different suspension setups, etc.?
The short answer is maybe in the future, not for 1.0. And if we do, you'll be able to see what everyone's setups are, what setup they use when they set their time on the leaderboard, and there'll be one button to like mimic their setup if you want to try out their setup. So maybe in the future, it's not for sure, but it definitely won't be 1.0.
Bill Clinton's off the bike. He's been in the doghouse since his last crash. Do you have kids, Chill? That would explain it. If you have kids or a big property you have to maintain, that would definitely explain it.
Come on, get the speed for these jumps. Antgrass, can you nerf these for me? Just for me? Oh, we're good.
Sam asks if you're going to focus more on technical riders or more on big jumps, and the answer is all of it. The map is huge. We're making them trillion trails. Joe's frustrated because he blew it. But yeah, man, we want to have all that stuff. Lots of really good, cool tech stuff. I mean, we've already got big jumps and a lot of tech stuff too. But we're just getting started. We're going to build it all in. We want to have some urban stuff kicking.
We're
Probably the
so
biggest
close
issue
to the
there
world
is-
record.
Is
I know.
art for us at this point for the urban side of things, right, Joe? Like,
Yeah.
if we make environment art that works all over the mountain, then you can use it in a lot more places. If you make environment art just for urban, it's only going to go in urban settings and it's not as scalable.
Yep.
So I could see how that has to be sort of prioritized a little bit lower.
I didn't realize Upper Decky got a ridiculous time. I've been trying to beat. I only need like 2 seconds to get what I thought was the world record, but now I need what, 7, 8? I don't know if I can get 8,
Nope.
but we're gonna try.
You know what an upper deck is, Joe?
Yeah.
That's a brutal thing to do to somebody.
That's terrible. Do you guys want me to switch trails? Are you guys bored of this trail? If you want me to switch, just tell me and I will switch. Or if you want me to keep going for a world record time, I will do that too.
Tom says his first map will be a long downhill track mixed with low and urban downhill. So he's going
Nice.
all out on his very first one. Very, very confident. I like to hear it.
I felt
Is it-
fast.
Z40 saying, is the pre-alpha open testing? How would you answer that? I mean, I'll let you answer that question.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys want to get access to what we're working on and try it out, you can join our Patreon. Patreon members get access to everything we're doing. So I think that's the answer.
Charlie, thank you for the rose, brother. Been super active and helpful today. I love when somebody shows up like for the first time and you see when they like it, you see when they follow you for the first time and like by the end of the stream they're kind of already with the program and they know what's going on and they're already pumped about it.
Yeah.
I don't know, Charlie, if I've got that wrong and you didn't just show up today, I apologize, but
Ooh.
I think it's been a while since we've been on this stream, and I'm old, so my memory can be bad sometimes.
We're only 2.2 seconds off the lead now, and I just beat Suiton. So am I beating Suiton now on 2 trails? Dude, Suiton, you better look out, man. I'm coming for you. What else could we run? We didn't do Little Dipper yet for you guys. This trail is super fun. Hodge and I were blasting this thing last night for probably a good couple hours.
Is Hodge getting faster?
Yeah, he's getting legit now. Like, where is he at on
Wonder if-
this? He's above me
Has
on
Ju-
this. Let's see if I can beat
Has
Hodge.
Julian been getting faster? I know he's been playing a lot since he got his new gaming PC.
Nah, Julian's slow. He'll always be slow.
He's not here, so he can't hear you say that. He'll probably see it on the replay when he goes through and cuts this replay down into shorts. He'll see it.
Oh, didn't slow down. So you can crash, guys. You can crash.
Will, thanks for
Su-
the follow, brother.
Suiton's been hacking since day one. So let's chill, Clinton.
Zach says the game's great. Thank you, Zach. Appreciate it, man. Man, such a good vibe in the stream today. This is
It
like
is.
the best vibe I can remember in a stream ever. Thank you guys. So nice hanging out with people who are just chilling. You know, want to hang out and like not give people a bunch of crap all the time. It's awesome. I think this world could use a lot more of that.
Oh no, I forgot about this turn. Oh, I always forget about
yeah,
that
you
turn.
did. It seems like you're doing pretty well. I think you should run those skinnies that I was seeing last night, where you get up to the drone jammer unlock at some point, Joe, before the thing's over today. That was kind of fun watching.
Oh
you
yeah, we could do that. Let's go do it now. We'll come
Okay.
back to this. So the way the drone stuff works, you guys, is if we go look at the map and I zoom out, I don't know why. Actually, part of the map is broken. There's supposed to be, it's supposed to like show you the zones of the map, and those zones have disappeared for me. So we'll have to fix that. But each zone will have a drone jammer, and you have to go do a tech trail to get to the top of the drone jammer before you can unlock the drone. So I've already done it, so I can fly the drone. But I'll show you, we revamped this second drone jammer challenge. The first one's pretty easy. This one's easier now. But I'll set a marker down right here. And I'm going to go to the trail bike because it's better for this. But these are going to be like these little tech challenges you got to do in each zone to unlock the drone. So let's roll this one. Pro tip is to set markers frequently. So as you kind of get through here, I might do a checkpoint system later, so it automatically will like save your checkpoints for you. It's probably the way to do it. But if you set markers every time you get through like a hard part, then you won't have to redo it.
That leaf hanging over the skinny there's a little bit of an extra factor to think about.
It used to be a lot harder here. Like this used to be some crazy gap, and we've made it a lot easier. A lot of you guys thought it was a little too hard, so we nerfed it quite a bit. Like if I'm going to do this first try.
Bunny hop there?
Oh,
you do have to bunny hop there,
you do.
Okay.
As I was like, I'll get it first try, and then I did that. But yeah, it probably took me 10 or 15 minutes in the old version, and now I can get through it in maybe 3 minutes. Yeah, let's see if you can do it without bunny hopping. Yeah, I didn't bunny hop there. You don't need a bunny hop. Oh, too fast.
So
and
let me ask you this.
Yeah.
This is a question about the whole concept of the drone jammer, which I've been paying attention to since the idea was first proposed by it was
Jax.
Was it Captain Jax who came up with that idea? Yeah. So what about if a person just wants to play as a drone pilot and doesn't really want to have to do all that stuff, but they want to be able to film the best stuff? How can they get past it?
This is what Hodge and I were talking about the other day, because I had him and I were asking that same question of like, yeah, what do we do? So I don't really want someone who bought the game just for the drone stuff to like have to play through the whole progression and do all these things if they don't want to. So I don't know. I thought about like when you start up the game, there's like an option, and if you just want to like do the drone stuff, like then you kind of can get that and it's unlocked and you can go do the drone stuff. Or if you want to play the game as it was intended, that's another option. But I'm not sure. What do you guys think? What do you think, Brian? What does chat think?
Well, my initial issue with the idea, and I'm responsible for a lot of marketing stuff too, so I'm always wearing a marketing hat, is just like if the game's dope and we have this killer drone and really good drone pilots can film, make really cool content, and they might want to do something with it, or become influencers with it or whatever, that's good for us. Like, we're not building the game to do that, and we're not paying people to be influencers for us and stuff. That's against our principles, but we do want to make a game that people naturally want to spread. That's a way that we can kind of, make something that's got some longevity and we can stay in business. So, initially the idea of like limiting a person's ability to essentially make content kind of felt a little counterintuitive to me. But then when I saw you doing the challenge yesterday on the video you did on YouTube, I was like, well, I get it now. I really do. I see that, and it's a cool challenge to get there. But then I started thinking about, but what if you don't even really want to ride? What if you just want to film, and it's a super fun place to go? So I don't know, but I can think of 2 reasons why it makes me a little bit iffy. But also, I mean, I'm following y'all's lead on this one, man. You guys have game design down, so that's just my take.
Yeah, we'll have to figure out a good way. I think it's one of those things where we'll see how many FPV pilots are getting in here. If it's a big market, then yeah, we'll probably make a way to just skip all the riding stuff and do FPV. If it's not and nobody wants that and people enjoy playing all the mountain bike stuff and unlocking it that way, then it's not gonna be an issue. But we'll adjust and take people's feedback like we always do and figure out the best way to do it.
I do like the concept of it all, though. I think it's cool having the different areas, different challenges where you got to complete certain things, and it's a little techier, a little more challenging, maybe even some uphill stuff that's a little more difficult to pull off, but there's a prize at the end of it, one way or the other, whether it's unlocking, whether it's breaking the drone jammer or something else. I think it's really cool.
Little power loop. Oh, power loop right into a rider. Just getting into a tree. FPV's hard.
Let's see. Ben's asking a question. Will you try to get it on console such as PS5? Yeah, we've talked about this a bunch of times in the stream already. It's probably before you got on, Ben. That's the plan. we're still in development of the PC version of the game. Once we get it past 1.0 launch, we want to get it on consoles, maybe in a year-ish, something along those lines, give or take a year. Something like that. But yeah, that's the plan. And this game, I think, will be great on consoles. It's a natural controller game. It'll really work well on consoles. Any plans to add water features? Nito wants to know. Feel like that would bring it to life. Man, that would so bring it to life, Nito. 100% agree. I mean, we've got a big lake already, and we've got a number of streams that are roughed in as well, too, but no moving water yet, right, Joe?
There's like some waves in the lake maybe, but no, water is planned to be worked on, I think, in May or June.
But I mean, in the trails themselves, there's no running water, there's no moving streams or anything like that, right?
No,
we just have them
not yet.
roughed in right now.
Not yet, yeah. But yeah, there'll be river crossings and waterfalls, and there'll be puddles hopefully and stuff like that.
You guys hear me asking a lot of questions. I've been working and I don't work directly on this project day to day, so it's been a couple of weeks since I booted the game up, and they move so quickly that when I'm on these streams, if I haven't been playing much, I just ask the question because I know it might look a lot different than the last time I played.
This little step down is so steezy. Like, you can just whip that thing.
What's up, Gage? Good to see you, man.
If you guys haven't seen in a while, we have different materials, surface types now. So before they used to look different, like the different colors and the dirt and the gravel and grass. But now they all feel different too. So they have different physics. Grass will slow you down. Gravel's slippery. There's different types of dirt. We got hard pack, loose. We got loam. So it's another thing that sets us apart from a lot of the other mountain bike games is, how deep all the different physics are for the different terrain types and all that.
What's up, Karen? Joe's mom is in the house. Good to see you.
I was trying to get a world record on Vinny's track earlier. I got second place. We got close, but you'll have to watch that later.
Karen, I saw before and after photos of you the other day from like 3 years ago, 5 years ago, and now or something. You look younger than you did even before. I don't know how you do it. I have no idea what you're doing.
I love the new braking physics that we did a couple months ago. Like, braking, actually, you got to kind of plan your braking spots. Before, the brakes were just so sticky. I mean, you needed to stop for something, you just like hit the brake for a split second and boom, you're stopped. Like, now you kind of got to think about it more. You got to plan, like right here. Like, I keep blowing that. I'm not getting on the brake soon enough. I need to brake more on the skinny, really slow down, prepare for that turn. A lot more thinking involved than there used to be, which I like. Some people might not, but
Dylan Twisty's on Cranked right now. Right on. Let's go. Joe, why don't we, first of all, thank you, Ethan, for the follow. Joe, why don't you talk a little bit about the Patreon? We haven't talked too much about that today, and we've got a couple of people asking how they can play this game right now. Might be a good time to bring that up.
We tried to go the typical route where you get a publisher, they give you a bunch of money to make a game and all that, and it didn't work out. Publisher said no one cares about mountain biking games. It's too small, too niche, that you won't make enough money for us. So we did it on our own. We're self-funded. We started with 4 founders. We put in our own personal money and our own savings to make this game because we truly believe in it. And to help us earn more money and make the game bigger and better, we started a Patreon. So on Patreon, you can go there. You can support us. It starts at $5 a month. We've got a plan for $5 a month, $12 a month, or $100 a month if you really have deep pockets. All that money goes right back into development to help pay our staff. And if you join at the $5 a month version, you do get access to everything we're doing. We put out updates very frequently. We've done 2 updates in the last 2 weeks, and they're very meaningful updates. So if you want to have say in what we're doing, you want to give us feedback, you want to test everything we're doing, it's $5 a month. You can cancel anytime. You still get to keep the latest version you had, but you will lose access to future updates if you do cancel. And if you do stay subscribed long enough to spend $50 total, you will get a Steam key when the game drops. So that's the Patreon situation. And it's been lately, the numbers have been going up. I think partially because Julian is now working for us as marketing coordinator. Yep. He's helping us get the word out. But also because I think the updates are getting more substantial. The game's coming further along. People are hearing about it. So really appreciate all the Patreon members. I think we're getting close to, we're over 600 paid people playing right now. I think there's like 3,000 or 4,000 free members. So yeah, if you guys want to join there, head over to Patreon, look for Cranked.
And also head over to Steam and hit the wish list button if you haven't already. It's super helpful for us. Oh, and for a short time, there's still a free play test there on Steam too. It's going to get pulled down, and it's not really. It's getting pulled down because we don't feel like it's fully representative of how far the open world build has come, and we don't want to misrepresent the game with an old build. So that's the reason why. But you can still get it if you do play mostly Fika Break, the basic track Fika Break, because it still kind of works well with the current physics. The other trails were built for different generation of physics that are kind of outdated at this point. Yeah, Nate says, will you own the game after a time of supporting the Patreon? Yes, if you accumulate a total support level of $50, then you will get a key for the game, the final game. So it's kind of like a way that you can support it in development, which is a unique experience in and of itself. And then once you get to 50, it's almost like paying in installments for it. Then you would just not have to worry about getting the full game when it's out. We're talking about adding one more tier on Patreon too. We're thinking there might be another tier we can add that might make it easier for people to get there if they want to. So we haven't made any decisions on it, but it's on our roadmap to talk about.
Are there any more trails in the works similar to Sugarberry, the dark slippery mud? Is that what you call Loamy? Yes, that's what we call Loamy. I'm working on one. I'm stuck in the hut. Here we go. Let me show you. I'm working on one over here. And so the section over there that I'm looking at, we're calling that zone 2.5. It'll get a name eventually, but right now it's called 2.5. That area is going to have a lot of that kind of stuff. But here's the one I've been working on. So the first drone jammer tower, after you complete the drone jammer right here, you can take this down and this will drop you into a new Loamer. I'm not done with it, so it doesn't have racing yet. And there's going to be a lot of like roots added. Like right here is kind of going to be like one of those like stair-steppy root sections. So I'm going to put roots all over this area. And then it's very skinny. It's single tracky. There's like a lot of little flow lines, like side hits, like right here, you know, you could just roll that, but you can also like hit this as like a little table and jump it up and land in there. And then it tightens up, comes into the forest. Whoop, wrong trail. Right here. Tightens up right here. It's going to come into this forest, get really rooty, loamy, and tight. And you kind of weave your way through this forest, and then it'll spit you out over here. We can give it a spin real quick. Like I said, not done. I actually had finished it yesterday, and all my progress got deleted from a merge conflict, so that's a real bummer. It's meant for the trail bike, so I'm going to hit my number 3 on the keyboard, load into the trail bike.
Make a big difference, Joe?
Oh, yeah.
Nice. Of course it does. Look at that. Dirt swimming. It's 4:54, so we'll probably wrap this thing up here pretty soon. If anybody has any questions, I'll take another cruise through the chat and see if there's any. Are you good to kind of wrap it up after 2 hours, Joe? That seems to be the sweet spot for us.
Yeah.
See if we have any. If anybody has any final questions, let us know. Yeah, Gage answered, Nate. It is a physics-based game. We think, we're trying to make the best mountain bike physics that ever existed in a video game. That's definitely what we're trying to. We're the ones making it, so we're not exactly, we might be a little bit biased, but we feel like we already have them. You'd have to ask the other people who are playing the game what they think. But that's kind of what is at the root of it all. We always were committed to making the best physics. That's how we looked at Mad Skills Motocross too when we made that. We always wanted to make sure we had the best physics in the class, and we're trying to do the same thing here. I think it's important for action sports games.
Most important thing about action sports game physics. That's it. Number 1.
Yep.
So that's why a lot of people complain about the art and it looks bad and whatever, it's ugly and da-da-da-da-da, but our priorities from the start have been physics, and it's, now that those are getting dialed in, we can start working on other things and pulling the whole thing together.
A guy with unknowable username says, do you get paid if people download it for free? The short answer is no, not the way we're making games. I mean, if you're making free to play games and you have ads or microtransactions or whatever, you can get paid that way because then people ultimately make the decision to maybe spend some money, but we're not doing it that way. I mean, really the only way we would benefit in that way from somebody downloading a free version is if they then told somebody else and that other person bought it. That could help, I suppose, but yeah, no, it doesn't. We don't make any money from a free download. There's no mechanism in place without ads or in-game purchases of some kind that gets us paid anything. So, nope, that would just put us right out of business if we did that.
Let's try this ridiculous trail, see if we can get through it. I have yet to get through it in one piece.
Nice.
Let me set a marker right here.
Cornwallis says, hey, I saw you guys a few months ago. The game's looking way better with a heart and a thank you or
Thanks.
this emoji. Thank you, man. If you're a man. Yep, game is called Cranked. You can see, you can wish list us on Steam if you haven't already. It's super helpful. Follow us on TikTok or YouTube. It's also very helpful. Instagram, very active. We're way more active on the social media side now that Julian's officially on board. Because just previously it was basically Joe doing almost all of it, and he's also doing so much other stuff. But now that Julian's here, we've got a lot more firepower. So we're trying to be a lot more consistent, and I think that'll pick up once he gets out of school officially in May. Even more than it has so far. What's the Discord? Dylan asks, Joe.
Discord.gg/cranked. Also, if you just Google cranked at Discord, it should pop up.
And Ryder and Fluffy and Dylan following us on TikTok. Thank you guys so much. On YouTube, if you hang out with us all the time and you have never really thought to follow us there, please do. I saw we got it's tougher to grow on YouTube, at least the way we've been doing things so far. It's a much slower pace for us, so it took us a while just to get over 1,000 there. But I saw we're up to over 1,100 now, so seems like it's picking up now that Julian's being so much more consistent there.
Oh, gotta get it. 20 minutes, so I got
Charlie,
3 minutes.
George, Harry, thank you guys. Kai for the follow. Really appreciate it, guys. Erdell says you could make trading and buying parts sort of like in CS2. That's a interesting meta. It'd be the type of thing that'd come later for sure, but you never know, man. Like we're trying to create a starting point that we can make an awesome game that people play for a decade. That's what the hope is. And if we're going to do that, imagine how much it's going to change over the years. Like we're not going to just make it and be like, all right, it's done.
Yeah.
We'll just kind of, as we go, if we think of ways to make it better or cool things we can try, we'll do it. So who knows what this thing will be in a year, 2, 3. It's hard to tell.
So we always did in our old, our other games. We made the Mad Skills games, and those games, like, they're still being worked on. Some of them are over 10 years old.
Yep.
It's maybe the hardest trail in the game right now. I'm not sure.
When you're making games like this and you're super into it and you hang out anyway because you're friends, you can't help but work on it and think about it and come up with ideas and talk about stuff all the time. Like when Joe and I hang out in person or anywhere really, we do Friday work sessions together. Joe and Julian and I do, where we just kind of log on and do some work for a few hours. There's nothing that will ever happen that will make us not talk about ideas and things we could do in the future. It's fun.
We've got a lot of ideas, stuff we haven't even shared with you guys. That's just like pretty wild. So I hope we can get there someday.
Can you think of one thing we can close the show out with today, Joe? That's a new thing you don't think you've ever said out loud? Anything that's completely new you've never dropped that you want to unveil as we sign off today?
Oh, what could it be? I mean, I would say that, and I mentioned it earlier in this stream once, and that was the first time I've ever mentioned it publicly, I think. But that would just be like a whole new mode about adventure bike packing, like a whole meta, like if you guys have played Karen, the climbing game, where you got to gather resources and at night you camp out and you sleep and you got to gain your energy back and you got to mix different foods and create, eat the different foods and try to get your energies level. And like, imagine that, but with bikes. So you do you do 50 miles in a day across country, and then you finally get to camp and you set up camp and you got to go around and maybe you do a little hunting and find some meat and then cook your meal up, gain your energy levels back. And you're like, man, I only got enough energy to do 20 miles tomorrow. That's a bummer. But like, I just think something like that would be awesome.
Will this come to Xbox? That's the plan eventually, but we're still in. I think we're about to be in beta or alpha or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, we'll say we're in alpha now.
Alpha. We're in
we're
alpha.
close
Okay, we just
enough.
decide. Yeah.
We wanted to get
Um,
modding and stuff in, but that'll be coming in soon. So we're pretty much alpha territory, I think.
But- Yeah, we want it to go on consoles eventually. That's the plan. Gage asked if any new cranked collabs. I actually talked about this earlier. Yeah, I actually got an awesome one today. I'm super pumped about it. And the pilot that we ran previously, I think it worked well enough. We're ready to kind of roll it out full scale. So, and we were also talking about how the first customization is likely going to be the ability to wear the cranked collabs T-shirts. So, yep. It's happening. We also have a new outreach plan in the works right now to kind of make lining new partners up for this better. We were a little bit before we were piloting it with earlier players to see how people felt about it, but the game was just kind of so far off from a visual standpoint at that point that we weren't. I don't know. We weren't really full throttle on a lot of things because the video that we would use if we were talking about these things on social media or whatever just didn't look that great at that point because it was so early. So well, it feels like it's starting to get to where it's good enough that we can get more aggressive, and that will include crank collabs as well. So
Hey,
yes,
to close it out, as I ride these skinnies, what do you guys think of if it's a very skinny like that first one? There's a balance mechanic, like old school Tony Hawk Pro Skater style, where left stick will still steer, but you need to use right stick to balance. And if you can't keep that balance meter centered, you'll fall off. I think in real life, that's how skinnies are. It's all about your balance. And I think getting a balance mechanic for stuff like these really tight skinnies, this one maybe is a little too wide for that, but I think that could be interesting. Well, what do you guys think as we close out the show?
yeah. And then a couple questions we have. We got a question for the update from Chill Clinton on the gear mag he's been working on. I know there were quite a number of gear sets, so it was taking some time. How are we looking on that stuff, Joe?
I think plan was to like push some of that gear back to May and work on some other things in the environment first, like the basics, like post processing, lighting. Maggie wanted to get that stuff kind of dialed in, and then revisit the gear.
Said before, we always have to make decisions based on what seems really like the smartest thing to do. And here's how I would talk about that as somebody involved in marketing. Like environmental changes are going to impact all of the content that we make. Everything's going to look better moving forward. With new gear, it's going to look cooler when that particular gear is being used in the content that we make, but it doesn't necessarily impact everything that we do. So I oftentimes try to focus on things that give you more leverage early on in the process that are going to give you more long-term benefit. Do those things first so you take advantage of the benefit. Same reason young people should be investing in retirement. We try to take the same approach to the way we make games. So I am all about that change. I think it's going to be super cool to get that gear in the game, but I think making the environment look better is a higher priority personally.
Yeah. Anyone got last minute question? We got, the balance I don't think is a good idea. Okay. That's a good idea in theory, but a balance meter realistically wouldn't work or be fun. Well, I mean, why? I mean, it's fun in other games. It's fun in Street Dog BMX. It's fun in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. So I think just saying it's not fun without even trying it maybe is not giving it some merit. But
Pierce the Veil, pop punk emo band extraordinaire says, what about the right stick for weight shifting in general?
this isn't like the Pierce the Veil, is it?
I think it's a person who likes the Pierce the
Oh, okay.
Veil.
I'll say that because that'd be pretty crazy. Right
They've got
stick for
two
weight
L's
shift.
at the end. They've got two L's on the end. So
Yeah, the right stick
No, but
already
there-
is kind of weight shift. It kind of leans the bike and stuff.
there was somebody from one of those pop punk bands that was playing Mad Skills Motocross. And we
Yeah,
were
it
all
was.
pumped about it. What was that?
It's on the tip of my tongue.
I'd like to say it was Moose Blood, but it wasn't. I love that band.
No. Is it like 2 words?
I knew I remembered that, but oh well.
All time? No. Oh, dude, that's gonna drive me nuts.
It wasn't Rise Against, was it?
No.
Okay.
It's the name. I think is the name of like a subject. Like it's like, what was it?
I'll look
Not-
up.
like Bandcamp. That's not it. But like,
It wasn't like American football or one of those sports named emo
It
slash
is
pop punk
it
bands.
is a sports named band.
Because there was American football. There is, who are the other sports names emo bands? Julian would probably know if he's here, but I don't think he's in the call anymore. Oh well, I don't know.
Dude, I swear it's like gym class or I forget.
Modern baseball, is that who it was?
No,
That's right, Nico. That was the other one I was thinking of. Thank you.
oh, it's gonna drive me crazy. About to just rip up Spotify real quick
I
before
think
we.
there's a band called Free Throw as well. It's funny how all these sports names are making it into that world.
Bet I could find it. Let's see. Man, that's gonna drive me nuts. Wasn't Knuckle
While you're
Puck.
looking, are manual and wheelie physics going to be worked on again? All the S's wants to know.
Yeah, for sure. I'm not happy with how they are. I will be very open and tell you the things that I'm happy with and the things I'm not happy with. And a lot of the physics stuff still are not where I want them to be. They'll get there over time. But yeah, state champs.
State champs. That was it. So yeah,
I knew it was
kinda,
something sports related. I was like, come on.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that'll do
Wow.
it, guys. So if you want to play what you're seeing here, this is the build we released to Patreon members yesterday. For $5, you can get ripping on this on PC, Mac, or Linux. This build was meant to be a big performance improvement. So people, like, I'm getting 200 FPS now. People saw, like, on average, probably like 50 or 60 FPS increase. Also had a lot of drone improvements to address the floatiness, and we redid the arcade drone and everything. So this update was mostly just based on player feedback from the last update, trying to fix stuff for you guys. 6 new race trails and a ton more stuff. If you want to see the patch notes, head over to our Discord or go to the Patreon. You can also sign up for Patreon for free, and that'll give you access to all of our patch notes, all of our updates. We do a Monday update every week to let you know what we're working on that week. So it's worth it even if you don't want to spend the money to go over to Patreon. Just check out what we're doing there. It's basically like a way that you can get updated on everything we're doing. And that's it. Anything else you want to close out with, Brian?
Yeah. It'd be awesome if you would decide to head over to Steam and wishlist Cranked. This game's very important to us. As Joe said before, we've self-funded this thing, and there are a lot of people who are very passionate about it. We're doing our very best work here. We like how things are coming along, and it's really developing well. And when people wishlist it, it's super helpful. It kind of signals to Steam that people are into it, and it makes it more likely that they shine some extra light on the game, which is very important. So that is the appeal that I will leave with Joe is, will you all please wishlist us if you have not? Otherwise, super good to be back. It's been about a month, I think, since the two of us did this together anyway, and I missed it. I'm happy to be back.
Me too. It is good to be back. Dude, the trail bike is fun. Hop on the trail bike, guys. Do some 180s. Can I do like a 180? I don't think you can manual fakie. Anyway, all right. I could play all day, but we got to get going. Thanks, guys.
Later, guys.
The awkward pause where I have to hit buttons.
It's like saying goodbye to somebody, then walking away from the elevator for about 10 minutes.